How you doing? My name's Key West Chris. We're going to do something different. Usually when I'm doing these little videos, I'm playing a song that I wrote. But today we're going to talk about changing strings on a guitar. It seems elementary enough, but there's a lot of tricks that people aren't aware of, and it's good to know. Once you do know it, you'll run into less problems in the end. I was reminded about a year ago, I was playing an open mic, and I don't often break strings, but I broke a string on this occasion. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, I'll put the string in." And that's what reminded me. And I said, I'm going to make a video of how to restring a guitar, because there's something to it, and I've learned over the years. And it was funny because the guy who did it has years and years of experience, and I was just amazed because, any rate, let's talk about the fundamentals of a string. Often what happens when you change a string, you'll hear people say, well, there's stretching. And the string does stretch to a small degree, key being a small degree. When they keep going out of tune, it's not because they're stretching, it's because they're slipping. And that's the key reason why strings go out of tune. There's a couple of things. This guitar is a wooden guitar. Atmosphere will change the guitar overnight, or even during a gig at times. It'll condense and it'll expand, and that of course will change the string. I also have a Rain Song, which is a carbon fiber guitar. That, or carbon fiber guitars, or like Ovations, which are advanced plastic, they don't move at all. So if your strings are going out of tune on those types of guitars, it's not because the guitar is expanding or contracting, it's because the string is slipping. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to do one string. We're not going to do the whole guitar because everything's fundamental after that. And I don't know exactly how this is going to go. These strings have been on here for about a month. They're ready to go. In Florida, in particular in the Keys, especially in the Keys, not so much in Florida, but in the Keys, there's a lot of air corrosion because we're sitting 106 miles out in the Atlantic Ocean, and we're surrounded by salt water, and conventional strings will last me a day or two. So I use the Elixir strings because they're the long lasting, and the ones I'm changing today actually sound pretty decent. They're still within their range, but I'm looking at them and they're starting to get corrosion on the string. So rather than wait, I'll just do them now, and I figured I was ready to do the video anyway. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do it the E string because the E string is going to be the easiest to show on the video. And simple enough, what we're going to do is going to take the string off, show you that part of it. Just loosen her up, here, and flap them. And once it's loose enough, we can wind it out, take it out. Now here's a fun thing here. I don't know how this is going to work because 9 times out of 10 it works. There's that one time out of 10 where you have to go to a different way of doing it. What happens here is, if you stop and think about it, the string and your peg down here, you're pulling the string to an extreme amount of tension to the point where it's making the musical note that you need, and therefore the end of the string is wedging into the peg, so they're really tight together right now. A lot of people try pulling these things out, and they're very difficult to pull out, and that's because they're wedged in there. A good technique to get it out is to push the string in like that, and that frees them up, and bingo, it comes out. I work that time. Sometimes they don't, and when they don't, I'll use a plier to pull it out. But like I say, 9 out of 10 times you don't have to do that. Push it in, and that releases that tension, so that makes it easy. I'm going to retain these strings as spares, so if by chance I break one, I'll have a spare that I can throw on during a gig. I don't like, if I can avoid it, I don't like taking a brand new string and putting on and ruining a set of good strings. Okay, so there we go. I personally use the 11 to 52s, but that makes no difference whatsoever in what we're talking about today. So we're going to unwind that. Bingo. And then what we're going to do here, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to put this in right with the bottom of the peg and push it in. And I want to make sure that there's no room for this string. I don't want to put the string down in, put the peg in. That's going to bring very big problems later on, because what will happen is the string's down here, the nut's down here, and the peg is here. And as you're playing, you're pulling it, and that's, like I say, it's slippage, which is your problem. And the string's pulling out, and that's why it's going out of tune, because it hasn't wedged itself in. So what I'm doing is here, I'm making sure that those two are in their final position. There's not going to be any room for the string to be slipping there. That's very, very important. Then we push through there. Now here's second thing is you want to have a little bit of slack, because like I say, there will be a small degree of string slippage when you're putting the string on. So what I'll do is I knew it'd give me some character building. It's been difficult. At any rate, what I'll do, I'm right now I'm holding the string taut, but I'm also leaving myself a fair amount of slack. I'm pulling that string so it won't slip out and fly around, because that'll give me headaches. And then once it catches, which it has, I can let go. And myself, what I'll do is I'll flip it on top of the string I'm putting in. Now another thing that's very important, you'll see right now I'm holding tension on the string, okay? While this one, I'm tightening this, I'm pulling this so it has tension. Again, you don't want to have things slipping, okay? Some people, they do these knots and stuff in the top. God bless them. I've been doing this for over 40 years. This works. If you want to do a knot, do a knot. You don't have to. As long as you get them in right. And what I'm also doing is I'm making sure that the string is threading properly. I want it to go underneath. When it comes around full circle, I want the next round to go underneath the first one that went in. So as I wind them up, they're going down. They're not going up. Again, you'll see I'm not letting go. Don't let go. It's very important. You want to have tension on there. Because what will happen if you don't is this part will get loose, and then you'll be playing and the string will go out of tune. So again, you want to make sure you have tension on there. I tuned it a little bit higher when I first put it on. There we go. And that's it. All right. So what I did there is I made sure there's no room for slippage at the top. There's no room for slippage at the bottom. Slippage means you're going to go out of tune. So that's basically a fundamental way of tuning or restringing your guitar and getting it in tune and stretched out. On this string here, I have about 2 loops in there. And again, doing those loops with the tension gets that initial stretching of the string out. The strings don't really stretch that much. Bear that in mind. They're metal. They don't really have that much room to stretch. But there you go. And then I give it a haircut with a plier. That's it. That's how you string your guitar. And you won't have the thing going out of tune on you left and right. Thanks. My name's Key West Chris. All the best from Key West.